Sukuyanade, welcome back. It certainly has been a while. For those who are unaware, my channel was hacked about halfway through the year, so that's why I've been posting for the second half. I did have a backup channel, but didn't bother posting on it for very long because most people didn't know it existed. Well, anyway, I managed to find a back entrance into my channel. I didn't realize it, but I had set up that same backup channel as a co-manager through YouTube Studio before I could no longer log in, which means that while I still cannot log into the main account, I can manage the channel through Studio. So far, it seems that I'm able to do just about everything I could before, except obviously things only the owner can do. But so far, the only thing that I noticed that I tried to do but couldn't was make a community post, which you can't make from Studio. But I'm not really too upset about that. I might have some plans for videos that I want to make. The first video I made on pronunciation is pretty bad, but it does have the most views, so I thought I might make a updated one with a little bit more accurate information, as well as just a little bit more information. I think I've said that I wanted to remake this video before, and that's because I wanted to remake it ever since I made it, but this time I might actually do it. But today, I just wanted to explain the situation, and that's all I really have for you. But then, through the magic of editing, the video goes on. Though you may not want to stay for it, it's mostly me rambling. So I changed my mind and decided to talk a little bit more, though on a different topic entirely. And unfortunately, the topic is translators again. So here's a quick little PSA. Don't use them. What brings me back to this topic is not to rag on any new learners who don't know any better. Hell, I used them before I knew better. So if that's where you are right now, don't worry, because, a lot of people were in that same place. But now that you do know not to use them, you don't have nothing to worry about. So why I really brought this topic up again is to address a different issue. Not those new learners, but those who claim to speak or even be experts on Mando'a, but then go on to write something so painfully obvious to have come from a translator. Doing this not only provides a disservice to yourself, but everyone else trying to learn who sees it. And here's why. For those people who don't know any better, they might believe you, and you'll be undermining their learning process by providing them with a false example. And for yourself, the plain truth is you will never learn Mando'a, and that's a fact because learning a language takes effort. But by using a translator, you're making the machine do all the thinking for you, even though it's not as smart as you are, because it can't learn. It will make the same mistake every single time. But if you put in the effort, if you make the mistake, next time you'll know better, and you'll be one step further in the learning process. Even if translators were 100% accurate or not, you still wouldn't learn because you're not trying to. And you're instead pretending that you're already an expert. But the thing is, they are not accurate at all. Any of them. Some are worse than others. Not one single grammatically correct Mando'a sentence has ever come from a translator. Probably not even by coincidence, because they're just that bad. If the operator manipulates the English input to match Mando'a structure, but even then, that only works if you already know what you're doing and you completely obliterated your English sentence grammatically. And It's just because translators work on a fundamentally flawed principle. It takes your input, searches each word individually, then finds a Mando'a equivalent. Then it spits them out in the same order. Or if it can't find something in Mando'a, it just keeps the English. So you could end up with like some Mando'a noun that's probably not even the right noun, an unconjugated verb, an unnecessary article, and just some plain old English mixed in. And that's not even the worst of it. The Coruscant translator, as I believe it's still called, will literally just replace any word that it doesn't recognize with gibberish. Translating is not a literal process, but the machine can't understand that. If you took a sentence, say, from Russian, and then translated it through a machine based on a similar principle, or even did it yourself, and you kept, each word in the same place as it was and just translated them all individually, you'd end up with a string of words seemingly not related at all and all out of order. And a similar concept applies to Mando'a, not necessarily about word order. If you translate like Ni kartaili darasum, literally, it would be I heart hold eternal. Which, sure, you might be able to figure out what that means. It's pretty obvious, but it doesn't make a grammatically correct English sentence. So when it's translated, it's not literal. Rather, they say it as I love you. And I left the you out, which would be Ni kartaili darasum, because omission. The translators don't understand omission. A lot of the times, Mando'a words will be completely left out of the sentence because they're not necessary, be it a pronoun or an article or sometimes even a verb. But that's, I have a whole video on omission, but I think. And I know I've gone on all over this all before. But like I said, I still see people using translators, even those claiming to be experts. Here's the thing. If someone says they're an expert, don't listen to them, because chances are they aren't. I'd wager that there's no more than 50 people on the planet who could be considered experts on Mando'a, if even that much. I certainly haven't met that many. I know of maybe a dozen, though there could always be people I don't know of, but even experts aren't necessarily fluent. I mean, it's hard to be in an incomplete language. One can become proficient in Mando'a like the experts have if they really try, but they never will if they use a translator. Anyway, this rambling section has been longer than the original part of the video by now, so I better shut my trap. All things summarized, don't use translators, and if you do, don't pretend that you don't. Like I said, it's a disservice to everyone, especially yourself. Retuashe mianade, and hopefully much sooner than last time.